lawsuit accusing an NFL player of seducing someone else's wife. The scorned husband suing Philadelphia Eagles star Fletcher Cox for alienation of affection and thousands of dollars, $50,000. ABC's Ryan Smith is here with that story for us. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Robin. Joshua Jeffords claims that his happy marriage was ended by an affair between NFL star Fletcher Cox and his wife. And now he's using an obscure law on the books in only a handful of states to strike back.
He's known for being an unstoppable force on the football field.
Fletcher Cox.
And the defensive leader of one of the NFL's best teams.
Fletcher Cox comes in to get the sack.
But this morning, Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle Fletcher Cox sacked with a lawsuit for allegedly seducing another man's wife.
Basically ruined my life because I thought I was going to be with this woman forever.
According to these documents filed in North Carolina, the two-time Pro Bowler being sued for alienation of affection. 34-year-old Joshua Jeffords, a former sergeant in the Marines, claiming his marriage to wife Catherine was destroyed after she met Cox on a business trip in March.
Our marriage was excellent. From the moment I first saw her, I knew I was going to marry her. I thought definitely she was my soulmate.
The lawsuit alleging an adulterous affair ensued, and the two stayed in touch via Snapchat and text. Cox allegedly texting her, "I want to get you pregnant." Catherine responding, "We'd make some damn beautiful babies."
I found some pictures that he had sent to her that I found highly inappropriate. I know that she texted him after I had found out, and the only thing she texted was, "He knows."
North Carolina is only one of 7 states that allows so-called alienation of affection lawsuits. In 2010, a North Carolina woman won a $9 million judgment against the alleged mistress of her husband of 33 years. As for the Jeffords, Joshua says they split shortly after he confronted his wife over the alleged relationship. Joshua says he was admitted to a treatment facility for substantial emotional distress and is seeking at least $50,000 in damages.
He's taken about everything from me that anyone could have taken that was important to me.
Cox, who signed a 6-year, $102 million contract last year, has yet to respond to the lawsuit.
Josh's estranged wife, Catherine, did not respond to our request for comment, and the pair are separated, according to Joshua.
As you said in the piece, alienation of affection only available in, what, 7 states?
Yeah, it's only in a handful of states, and essentially you have to prove that there was love in the marriage, that the marriage was broken, and that the defendant in some way caused that disruption.
It's like a divorce proceeding?
There's a couple of things you can do. For example, an affair is part of that, but then there are things that he can use to defend that. He can say, for example, I didn't know they were married, things like that. But you're talking about $9 million in one case, $1.4 million in another case in 2001, $1 million in another.
Why wouldn't he sue for more? He sued for $50,000.
Well, I think there's been a movement to reduce the penalties from it, and that might have happened here. Or he might just simply be trying to say, this is my cost, this is what I feel I've suffered, and that's what I'm going to try to get. But this is on the books in a couple of different states.
Wow, who knew?
Wow.
Yeah.
In 7 of them, a lot of eyeballs opened up in those 7 states. All right, thank you, Ryan.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now, this video right here is about a Philadelphia football player who supposedly got some other guy, took his old lady or something like that, and the guy is very mad about the whole situation. Now, I can imagine how the guy pretty much feels. You know, you letting somebody else take your position, but you have to question not only yourself, but question the person you with more than looking at the guy, Fletcher Cox. And it's funny that the guy with the last name Cox, as in cock, would take another guy's woman who was a sergeant in the army. He was in overseas, did serve a couple tours over there. So this guy was somewhat of a decorated soldier, and he thinks that he found the love of his life. But little did he know that, like Chris Brown said, how can I say this in the best words possible? These hoes ain't loyal. So if he did not listen to that song, or he didn't know that these hoes weren't loyal, maybe that's why he's getting played right now. So, you know, you looking for people out here with a lot of things. People be attached to you for a lot of reasons, whether it's for benefits or whether it's for true love or not. You will never know until you're tested. So you don't really know where you're at with a person, whether it's family, friends, relative, or a spouse, until you're really tested. And this woman right here was pretty much tested. She's seen a guy, so evidently she probably always had a thing for black guys. and especially black men with money, you know, because you ain't gonna just find too many white females with black guys unless they got money, or unless just the woman just ugly as hell, fat, out of shape, and then, you know, they will go find them some guy to be with. Some guy will pick them up. But I'm gonna read a snippet from this story, and I will give my opinion surely as we go. Eagles Fletcher Cox being sued by North Carolina man for allegedly seducing his wife. Fletcher Cox signed a 6-year, $102 million contract with the Philadelphia Eagles last offseason, and the star defensive tackle might be sending some of that to a man in North Carolina whose wife Cox allegedly seduced. Now, Fletcher shouldn't have to send anything. If anybody, the wife ought to send something, because the wife is, to me, committed to the guy, not Fletcher. You know, even though he did play his little part in you know, and help creating something. But let me tell you something. He didn't create anything that wasn't already there inside that woman, because evidently she didn't love him if she already having sex with the guy, sending nude photos and talking about we'll make some cute babies and everything. Now, the Charlotte Observer reported Wednesday that a man from Huntersville, North Carolina, has filed a lawsuit against Cox for alienation of affection. And when they say alienation, I don't know why I thought about the movie Aliens and stuff, The Covenant and all that. I don't know how in the hell that popped in my mind, but it's 7 states that have this law where it shows that if you was in a relationship, or if you was in a marriage with a person and it was really love there, if you can prove it was love there, which I don't know how the hell you can, because if it was love there, then why are we here in the first place? You know, but like I said, it's 7 states that have this law in the book where if you can prove that it was love and that an outside person came in and interrupted that marriage, or, you know, caused problems, and you know, seducing and everything with your spouse, you could turn around and sue that person. And to me, that's more like a backdoor hater pledge, if you will. Whereas, you know, not saying that the people are haters that's getting their spouses took, but at the same time, if another person come along and take your man or your wife, you know, I mean, you didn't have much to begin with, right? So why go through the process of embarrassing yourself for a few $1,000s when you could just let that damn person go? And that's why it's important to know who you're with in the first place, you know, especially these guys that be these professional sports players, these soldiers who be gone for months and months on end, these entertainers, you know, like I said, people that's in the service. When you be gone that length of time, there's no telling what your wife doing. She's doing something strange for a little piece of change. She's getting down for the get down, if you know what I mean. Now, the plaintiff, Joshua Jeffers, claims he and his wife were happily married until September, when he became aware of communication between Cox and his wife. These communications allegedly included a text of Cox saying he wanted to get her pregnant in a Snapchat of his genitals. He pulled out on her. He drawed down on her, according to the Charlotte Observer. And I don't know, you know, if she seen the man penis and she it blew her mind. I don't know what the hell, you know, because then you be taking it a step further. But we're just gonna leave it at that right now. You can use your imagination for the rest. Now, the lawsuit also claims Jeffers' wife responded by calling Cox boo and saying, "We make some damn beautiful babies," as well as, "I want to get to know you, babe. I already know we are compatible sexually. Yeah, you got a vagina, he got a penis. One goes in, the other one accepts." You know, that's pretty much what it is right there. Unless, you know, maybe I'm tripping and you all could tell me. That's, I mean, who's not sexually compatible? One has a tunnel, one has a car. You go in that tunnel. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, Forrest, her talking about, "I want to get to know you, babe. What about the guy you already with? And then we make some beautiful babies." Now, what really hurt this guy is the fact that I bet she never told this man that she's with, who's her husband, that we make some beautiful babies. And I don't even think they even have any kids. So all of a sudden, big Mandingo Cox come along. You know what I'm saying? Mandingo Cox come along, and all of a sudden, smoke in the city, all hell break loose. And now she want to have babies. She want to get down for the get down. She's saying they're compatible sexually, and I don't know what the hell she meant by that. He must have turned her ass out. That's all I can say. Now, Jeffers claims Cox met his wife when she was on a business trip to Pennsylvania, and once he confronted her about Cox, she put her possessions in a storage unit and moved to Pennsylvania on October 28. After his wife left, Jeffers claims he was admitted to a mental health facility for help with substantial emotional distress. He is seeking at least $50,000 in damages. Cox has not responded to the lawsuit. So this guy was really in love with this woman, thought this woman was his world, and then he had to find out the hard way that the song Chris Brown said that These Hoes Ain't Loyal was a real true song, and that Chris wrote that from a special place inside his heart. Now, far as the mental anguish and all this other things breaking down and having these attacks, you know, the man's heart was broken. I understand with him, I reason with him with that, but man, you know, I know your mama told you never love a hoe, never trust a hoe, you know, and I'm not saying about all women, because of course this ain't even about all women, so let's do not even go there, because certain type of women hate when you correct other type of women. You know, if I can correct the guys, I can correct the women too. You know, it's balanced. But anyway, this is what happened when you give your heart to the wrong person, you know. So let this be a learning lesson from him, and he's still young enough to make a comeback for as finding him somebody else that would really love him. You know, this woman wasn't no good from him from the jump, and he should have seen all the signs that was there, because I guarantee you it was signs already there leading up to this right here. Then when he confronted her, instead of her talking it out, hashing it out with him, or giving him some kind of excuse, she hauls ass and leave and go elsewhere. So you need to just, you know, drop that zero, get you a hero, cancel that check, you know what I'm saying, write it off, because you can go get you another one. You see what I'm saying? Go get you another woman who's much better than her, look better than her, treat you better than her, and who will love you and have your children. You know, I don't know if you can have children or not, it's none of my business, but still, have your own family. She want to make a family with Cox because she's infatuated by this guy that's on TV making millions of dollars, and a lot of people would be. But guess what though? What they got to do with you being faithful to your spouse? So you're gonna give up something for something that you see on TV because he done came and put it down. And these guys wonder why they wind up in court like O.J. Simpson for everything, when you mingling with the wrong type of people, because this woman is with you for a reason. How can you be with somebody who's sitting up here married to somebody, you know, already committed to this man, and you come along and you think y'all gonna have babies? So you setting yourself up for child support, you setting yourself up for alimony, you setting yourself up for all kinds of things. So hey, if Cox love it, you know, I love it too. And what they say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So hey, more power to him. But let me know what you all think about this sad ass bean footage right here. And if you was the guy who got his wife taken, you know, I'm asking this to male and female. Female, just put yourself in the role of the man. What would you do? You know, how would you have handled this situation? And also, if you want to share some of your cheating experiences, also not saying that you was cheating, you know, talking about your spouse, if you don't caught them up in a lie, and instead of them facing the truth and telling the truth about it and trying to reason it out or give you some kind of closure, they just leave you just like it wasn't done. So all them weeks and years and months you spent together didn't amount to shit, because look what happened in the end. Let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe. Till next time, y'all stay blessed and watch your back, because I'm telling you, it's hard to find people that's real with you these days. I'm out.